If you ever wonder what made Milwaukee one of the top killing cities, one of the cold-bloodedest places to be at and be in game, then you have landed in the right place, because this video right here is finna give you a very crucial, vivid, visionary of why this city.
Scene and strong ties to brewing and manufacturing. The city features a mix of urban neighborhoods, waterfront attractions, professional sports like the Milwaukee Bucks and Brewers, museums, festivals, notably Summerfest, and a growing food and arts culture. However, Milwaukee is widely regarded as one of the most racially segregated cities in the United States, a divide shaped by decades of policy, housing discrimination, and economic exclusion. Milwaukee has higher crime rates than both the national and Wisconsin state averages, especially in categories of violent and property crime. According to recent FBI-based data, the violent crime rate in 2024 was about 1,430 violent crimes per 100,000 residents, with 8,019 total violent crimes reported, including aggravated assault, robbery, rape, and murder. Property crime was also high, with roughly 15,318 incidents and a rate around 2,733 per 100,000 residents. These figures place Milwaukee as having the highest violent crime rate in Wisconsin, also ranking among the top 10 most dangerous cities in the United States.
She saw it on her Ring doorbell camera. When the man leaves, 8 bullets hit the house.
Dangerous, dangerous, man. I told y'all, Milwaukee has made it to one of the top 10 most dangerous cities. Man, you gotta understand, man, they get wild and they get reckless up here, man. And I think at that moment, people they don't be knowing themselves into. They don't know what they're getting themselves into. And I say that with all my heart, like, because a lot of shit has taken place within the last few months, actually. And this ain't the last time that we're gonna see any of this. But what we is gonna do is we finna keep going and let's see what else that we can uncover about Milwaukee.
What's the grimiest shit you done seen out here, man? The grimiest shit I done seen out here was an old lady ass nigga right here, and the only thing they did was just walk over. Like that. She was a veteran height. You know what I'm saying? She fucked up, ran off nigga money. Stinking is where she was found. You know what I'm saying?
Sherman Park. Sherman Park is a neighborhood on the northwest side, bordered by Capitol Drive to the north, 35th Street to the east, North Avenue to the south, and 60th Street to the west. The neighborhood has a population of around 7,358 residents. Sherman Park faces elevated crime levels, with overall crime rates about 245% higher than the national average. Violent crime is particularly severe, occurring at roughly 879% above the national average, leaving residents with an estimated 1 in 14 chance of becoming a victim of crime.
Tonight, Milwaukee police are investigating a homicide that happened earlier today near 39th and Hadley. Bruce Harrison was able to find out some more about the woman who was killed.
Residents along Hadley don't believe the woman killed was the target.
Does it seem like she was just in the wrong place at the wrong time?
Most definitely. Because she could have had no problems with nobody. She was nice.
Concerned the shooter may return, this man spoke to us off camera.
I heard the shots, but I thought it was like firecrackers because everybody popping their firecrackers. But then I heard everybody in my house yelling, and I'm like, oh, stuff getting real.
According to police, just before 8 in the morning, someone shot and killed a 51-year-old woman driving her car. Police say the shots came from another car.
And residents tell me that around this intersection lately, there's been a lot of gun violence.
This home, residents say, is often a target.
This like the third shooting in a week.
Wow.
Too much going on.
Though it's unclear if there's any connection to the woman's death.
She was cool. She used to feed her cat. She had good conversation. You know, she just used to make the area around her better. Anybody could talk to her.
Reporting in Milwaukee, Bruce Harrison, TMJ4 News.
Sherman Park was once the center of Milwaukee's Jewish community and remains home to a small, close-knit, and growing Orthodox Jewish population.
Now, you know, that's a sad scene, gang. That's a real sad scene. And at the end of the day, I think that's, you know, an even sadder scene for family out there that had to experience this that day. You feel me? At that very hour and moment. You know, a lot of times I think a lot of people, you know, they take life for granted. They take their opportunities for granted, their chances, and then after they do what they do, they tend to try to look back and, you know, want to have regret, sorrow, hold guilt. But, you know, I'll be feeling like at that moment, at that very moment of your life, you should have had all of that same energy, you know, balled up in that one cluster ball so you can really stop and think about it like, hey, yo, would this make sense or would it not? You see, anger get people out here so upset, so destabilized, so off balance. And at the end of the day, when you destabilize, upset, and off balance, sometimes you tend to make the wrong decisions. You feel me? Yes. And I think a lot of times that's what takes place in my city, in my hood, in my neighborhoods, in my area, in my communities. I don't think these all be, you know, just bad black men. I don't think these all be negative influenced black men, but I think these be black men that need help, black men that probably be reaching out but not in the right way, and I think somebody probably got to reach back out to them and help them. So, you know, a lot of times these podcasts and these videos that a lot of us like myself do drop for y'all, it'd be for y'all to catch the message in it, listen, learn, and after that you good to go. You understand?
Notable figures such as former U.S. Senator and Milwaukee Bucks owner Herb Kohl, along with his college roommate Bud Selig, former MLB commissioner and Milwaukee Brewers owner, grew up in Sherman Park during the 1940s and attended Washington High School, which is located within the neighborhood. Sherman Park's decline mirrors many of the structural shifts that reshaped Milwaukee's northwest side in the second half of the 20th century. Once a stable, middle-class neighborhood anchored by Jewish families, strong homeownership, and nearby commercial corridors, the area began to change as suburbanization, white flight, and disinvestment accelerated after the 1960s. The loss of nearby industrial and commercial jobs reduced economic stability. Over time, rising poverty, vacant properties, and strained public services contributed to higher crime rates, including persistent violent crime that damaged the neighborhood's reputation. Milwaukee's hoods moved to their own rhythm, where streets like Hampton Avenue, Capitol Drive, Burleigh Street, neighborhoods and projects like Hillside, West Lawn, Park Lawn, and South Lawn aren't just locations but identities. It's a hustling city at its core, shaped by corner politics and the constant grind of survival, where the streets and drug trade have long played a role in how money moves. And
Shout out to every Milwaukee artist, you feel me, that they just showed in that video, because we do got some talented people in our city. Don't ever get that twisted, yo. We got some talented people, and I'm not saying the podcast is getting it twisted. So I'm saying it, though, I would like to, always give the artists their flowers before, I tear them down. And I'm not saying he's doing that, but a lot of people around the city, when they see this video, that's the first thing they're going to do. They're going to tear these artists down, limb to limb. And at the end of the day, the first thing we want to do is at least uplift them so they can know, hey, yo, even though you are out making mistakes, gang, even though you are out putting a bad face card on yourself and a bad reputation for your name, we gonna represent you. We still gonna uplift you, and we gonna show you that we got your back, black brother.
reputations are built. The car culture is woven into everyday life. Loud V8s, clean paint jobs, old schools, and modern muscle cruising the blocks as a form of self-expression and respect. That same energy fuels the city's emerging hip-hop scene, raw and unfiltered, pulling stories straight from these neighborhoods and turning them into soundtracks for the streets. Led by artists like Certified Trapper, Chicken P, Marijuana XO, SME Tax Free, Cap Drive Montana, and many more. In Milwaukee, the hoods, the cars, and the music all feed off each other, creating a culture that's gritty, proud, and unmistakably 414. Garden Homes. The Garden Homes neighborhood is located on Milwaukee's far north side and is generally defined by boundaries running from West Ruby Avenue to the north, North Teutonia Avenue to the east, Capitol Drive to the south, and North 30th Street to the west, and has a population of approximately 2,700 residents. Garden Homes experiences elevated crime levels, with overall crime rates approximately 184% higher than the national average. Violent crime is especially pronounced, occurring at roughly 733% above the national average, leaving residents with an estimated 1 in 17 chance of becoming a victim of crime.
And now to this Fox 6 exclusive surveillance video that shows what police and many Milwaukeeans are up against.
It captures a horrifying scene on Milwaukee's north side over the weekend, and what you're about to see was recorded on a neighbor's surveillance camera.
Diving into this video, back into the video, I should say, we are finna go over a few things that neighbors, communities, and civilians of the community and surrounding neighborhoods is totally upset. Check it out.
It's approximately 184% higher than the national average. Violent crime is especially pronounced, occurring at roughly 733% above the national average, leaving residents with an estimated 1 in 17 chance of becoming a victim of crime.
And now to this Fox 6 exclusive surveillance video that shows what police and many Milwaukeeans are up against.
It captures a horrifying scene on Milwaukee's north side over the weekend, and what you're about to see was recorded on a neighbor's surveillance camera. A barrage of gunfire, too many shots to count there. Our Spencer Tracy joins us live. And Spencer, where did this happen and what's the latest now on the investigation?
Yeah, that video comes from an alleyway near 27th and Ruby early Saturday morning. Now, we've been asking police all weekend about what happened, and we've been told that we won't find that information out until tomorrow. Neighbors, however, they're definitely talking tonight.
I probably slept for like an hour. Then all of a sudden I heard maybe like 10 or 13 gunshots.
Tanya Hayes says she had one instinct when the gunfire woke her up.
So when I heard the gunshots, I immediately dropped to the floor.
She was staying at her daughter's home near 27th and Ruby. Early Saturday morning, one neighbor's surveillance camera caught two cars. Several men get out. And then they take off. Hayes says that while her daughter's home was hit, the gunmen were clearly shooting at the house next door.
I was just shocked, for somebody to just start shooting, not knowing that it's kids in the house. Somebody could have got killed.
Developed in the early 1920s as the nation's first municipally sponsored house homes were by working-class Milwaukee reality. Affordable housing during a population boom fueled by rapid industrial growth. Each home was built at a cost of roughly $4,500, with construction expenses kept low through standardized designs and a production line-style building process. Although the cooperative model quickly collapsed amid financial disputes, The project still succeeded in expanding affordable housing by constructing 93 single-family homes and duplexes arranged around a central green space. Initially home to a largely white population, by 1960 the corridor had become a haven for black Milwaukeeans. Drawn north during the Great Migration by high-paying factory jobs and access to quality, affordable housing. At its peak, the area reportedly held one of the highest standards of living for black Americans in the nation at the time. As manufacturing later declined and jobs disappeared, however, the garden homes and surrounding infrastructure began to deteriorate, entering a cycle of disinvestment driven in part by Milwaukee's deep racial segregation and economic inequality. Midtown. Midtown is bordered by North Avenue on the north, 20th Street on the east, and Highland Avenue on the south. Its western edge follows a railroad track from North Avenue to Fleet Street, then turns east along 27th Street to Highland Avenue. The neighborhood is home to nearly 7,000 people. Crime here is 221% higher than the national average, while violent crime skyrockets to an alarming 845%.
Also, it's one of the most violent neighborhoods. Now, this video right here specifically was captured when a young man caught himself, being upset over a female, one of those whores, one of those street whores who just dick hopping, she around hopping, bouncing dick to dick, and couldn't control her twat. And at the end of the day, her guy, this young guy right here that we see in the street, couldn't control his emotions, let the fucking emotions get the best of him, you feel me, like a goddamn idiot, right? And behind being that idiot, unfortunately, he is now serving life behind bars. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that is one of the most craziest things to ever take place. When you put yourself in the alignment of negativity, when you put yourself in the alignment of no purpose or no purpose of service for the community, this is what you get. This is the outcome you receive. And I want all my sisters to look at this video and understand that this is not where you want to be. This is nowhere near your desired reality. This is not what nobody wants to live like. Trust me.
Above the norm. Residents face a 1 in 15 chance of becoming a victim of crime. On the night of September 29th, 2002, what began as a small neighborhood confrontation on a quiet street in Midtown would end in a killing that shocked the nation. Violence erupted on 21st Lane in Milwaukee's Midtown neighborhood, turning a minor confrontation into a fatal mob attack. Charlie Young Jr., 36, became involved in an altercation after a group of kids reportedly threw an egg at him. Young responded by punching one of the boys, a 14-year-old, knocking out his tooth. The situation rapidly spiraled out of control as the boys would call for help. A large group formed, estimated at 16 to 20 individuals ranging in age from 10 to 32. They chased Young down and brutally beat him using bats, broomsticks, shovels, a tree limb, a stroller, and other makeshift weapons. The beating was so violent that blood spattered across the high porch ceiling that he was chased to. Young tried to force his way into the home for safety, but was pulled back by the group and beaten again. Young suffered devastating blunt force injuries and was placed on life support. He died 2 days later, on October 1st, 2002. The case drew national attention due to the sheer number of participants and the ages involved, especially the youngest being 10 years old.
They chased him down to this porch, and then it was just mob mentality. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, and it wound up being 8 kids when it was done, ranging in ages from 10 to 16. 10 years old. The 10-year-old was jumping up and down on his head. I talked to a witness, and there was blood splurting out of his eyes and his ears. And he was laughing the entire time. 10 years old. And he's trying to break into this house. It was just a house. There was wood shavings under his fingernails. And you could see where he was clawing at the windows, trying to escape this angry mob. That's how he died. They used shovels, they used sticks, they used baseball bats.
Let's look at what happened to the boys. There were 14 charged defendants in the case. Of the 14, 3 were resolved in the juvenile system, including the 10-year-old. 5 are still in prison. 3 others served time, got out, but committed new crimes and were sent back. Another one has a new felony case pending right now. Only 2 did their time and have stayed clean.
Harambe. Harambe sits in a unique space on Milwaukee's map. While it is technically part of the city's north side, many longtime residents and locals often refer to it as the east side. Harambe is generally bounded by Interstate 43 to the west, Holton Street to the east, North Avenue to the south, and Keefe Avenue to the north. Harambe is home to about 11,900 residents and home to rapper Chicken P. Harambe faces significantly elevated crime levels, with overall crime rates approximately 246% higher than the national average. Violent crime is also substantially higher, occurring at about 617% above the national average, meaning residents have an estimated 1 in 14 chance of becoming a victim of crime.
We do also have breaking news to get to right now, a triple shooting on Milwaukee's north side.
The shooting happened just before 2 o'clock this morning near Holton and Center. That's in Milwaukee's Harambe neighborhood. 12 News' Zoe Henry joins us live now from the scene.
Zoe, you just spoke to a woman who lives nearby that shooting.
Yeah, Mallory and Jaron, the woman says that one of the bullets went straight through her bedroom window, and she says she sleeps just a few feet away from here. Actually, there's more than one bullet hole here. You can see the one here and a second one down here. Milwaukee police said there were 3 victims in the shooting, ranging in age from 21 to 26, all taken to the hospital and expected to be okay this morning. But investigators, while 12 News was
dangerous. You know, I think some teens out here, and definitely right now, in the time we live in right now, some teens out here, gang, they live so fast. They honestly live more faster, I say, than we did back in the day. You understand? And the reason I say that is, the reason I said it is because it's the money. It's the money, it's the streets, it's what they see, is everybody around them, is what they want to relate to and connect with, right? And I think that right there got these teens lost. They got a lot of people lost. Even OGs, some of these OGs are still out here lost because they want to play the role of the young man in the street. And at the end of the day, when you play that role, gang, you find yourself lost. You find yourself hurt. You find yourself in jail or in hell. You know, either way it goes, that's how it's going to happen. But all I know is Milwaukee streets is one of the most dangerous streets. And we're going to figure that out. Something going to lead to worse.
on the scene this morning, going in and out of Cream City Social, a bar just near Holton and Center Street. Another thing that was on the scene this morning, a car crash. Now, Milwaukee police has not confirmed how or if it's connected to this scene, but again, we spoke to that woman who says she was sleeping when the shooting happened.
The area that became Harambe was first settled by German farmers in the mid-19th century, with its name later drawn from the Swahili word Harambe, meaning pulling together. Although a small number of black residents settled in the area during the 1930s, they became the dominant population after World War II, bringing with them their own businesses, churches, and cultural institutions. Black residents formally established the Harambe name, launched Milwaukee's annual Juneteenth celebration in 1972, and successfully advocated for renaming sections of 3rd Street and Green Bay Avenue to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Drive in the mid-1980s. The neighborhood would eventually go through a period of decline. Redlining, segregation, and disinvestment restricted access to loans and home repairs, accelerating property decline and population turnover. As middle-income residents left and vacancies grew, commercial corridors weakened and poverty increased, contributing to rising crime, especially violent crime in the late 1980s and 1990s. Despite its cultural importance as a center of Black history and Juneteenth, long-term economic exclusion has played a major role in Harambe's ongoing struggles.
Can you talk about some of the streets that you was when you got to Milwaukee? Like, what were some of the streets? What were some of the neighborhoods?
I'm East Side, man. I'm East Side. I'm East Side. I'm East Side. I'm not an East Side gangster, but I roll with them.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I roll with the East Side gangsters. Everybody know that. The whole town know that. You know, we put a lot of pressure on niggas up there. They know about the East Side. You know what I'm saying?
Milwaukee heavy in gang culture too. You know?
Yeah, I mean the 2-4s, the 1-9s, all of them, the Burlight Zeus, all of them. They know that we was the money crew.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we had the best pimps, the best hustlers, the best everything. The East Side, you go to Milwaukee, that's the side.
Okay.
North side. But I mean, he gonna say North Side.
I'm from 22nd and Townsend, so I'm from 22nd and Townsend, so you know.
But you know what though? I lived on all sides.
Okay.
But you know, we was the ones that's riding the Rolls Royces. You know, we were the ones that was riding the brand new Benzes. You know, everybody on East Side got money. You know what I mean? I could just name a crew of person. Nobody would dispute that the East Side guys, we got the most money.
Yeah.
Franklin Heights. Located on the north side, Franklin Heights is bordered by Capitol Ave to the north, 20th Street to the east, Burleigh Street to the south, and 35th Street extending to Townsend Street and the railroad tracks on the west. The population is around 7,500 residents. Franklin Heights experiences extremely high crime, with overall rates about 321% above the national average. Violent crime is particularly severe, at roughly 978% higher than the national norm, giving residents a daunting 1 in 12 chance of becoming a victim of crime. Franklin Heights grew rapidly after the Hopkins streetcar reached 35th Street in 1899, and in the early 1900s A.O. Smith relocated its massive factory there, employing nearly 6,000 workers and driving housing demand. A.O. Smith, one of the world's largest automobile frame manufacturers, outgrew its Walker's Point factory in 1910 and moved to land along Hopkins Street, where its new facility could produce 10,000 frames per day. In the 1960s, freeway construction prompted many residents to leave, while Black families moved in, growing from less than 1% of the population in 1960 to 94% by 1980. Deindustrialization hit in the 1980s, and A.O. Smith sold its remaining operations to Tower Automotive in 1997, which then closed in 2006, leaving 140 acres of vacant land in Franklin Heights. This heavily contributed to rising poverty in the neighborhood. Today, about 1/3 of Franklin Heights' population lives below the poverty line. North Division. The North Division neighborhood is the northern section of a larger neighborhood known as Lindsay Heights. The neighborhood is bordered by Burleigh Street to the north, North Avenue to the south, Interstate 43 to the east, and North 20th Street to the west, and has a population of around 5,104 residents. North Division faces alarmingly high crime, with overall rates about 385% above the national average. Violent crime is extreme, occurring at roughly 1,363% higher than the national norm, meaning residents face a staggering 1 in 10 chance of becoming a victim of crime.
Amazing and terrifying surveillance video showing the moments gunfire erupted outside of a gas station right near 14th and Locust early this morning. 2 people ended up getting shot. Fox 6's Bill Miston joins us live now with more on how others scrambled for cover. Bill?
Heather Steph, police are looking for suspects at this hour, and for the gas station's owner, he tells Fox 6 that he's not surprised about this type of violence in the city, but that it happened where it did. For nearly 20 years, Jasjit Singh says problems have been few and far between at his shop at the intersection of Locust and Teutonia. But at around 4:15 Wednesday morning, gun violence that he says has plagued other parts of the city reared its head at his front door.
This is happening all over.
His surveillance cameras capturing the harrowing moments that was over as quickly as it started. First, you see a man in a white shirt walk up to this car and start talking to someone in the back seat. At the top of your screen, muzzle flashes, at least 14, from at least 2 people. The man in the white shirt hits the ground for cover when 1 second later you can see a bullet blows out the window, coming inches from the man's head. A woman and man tumble out of the car and run inside, the man losing a shoe in the process, while the man in the white shirt takes off running.
This how you know the city get busy, right? The city get busy, real busy, y'all. And I told y'all before, my city get busy, right? Yeah, we do our damn thing. At the end of the day, that's not what I'm promoting, right? I'm not promoting that. What I am promoting is greatness. What I am promoting is love, peace, you feel me? Serenity, production, productivity. I'm promoting motivation. I'm promoting all the above. And at the end of the day, if you can get with that program, then you will not be left out of my program, gang. You hear me? If you can relate to this video and you know somebody else out there that need to hear this message, that probably need to calm their ass down. Some of them young boys, some of them young girls out there, they need to calm the fuck down, sit back and relax and let their inner self take control. Then make sure you share this video to them. Make sure you let them see this, and make sure you let this video resonate in their heart, pierce their goddamn soul. I love y'all.